Hello and welcome to another episode of JP26. It's your boy JP here.
Nobody cares.
It's a Thanksgiving Day episode.
Welcome to the JP26 Thanksgiving episode. To the 6 storylines we go, except it's only 3 this time, because it's the JP26 Thanksgiving episode. Dumbass!
So I'm very excited. And we got a lot to go over, man. We got 3 different games to go over. You guys know the rules. It's normally 6 storylines. But there's 3 football games today, and I'm not going to squeeze 6 storylines into that. I'm not going to bore you guys with that. So we got 3 games, which means we got 3 storylines to go over.
Oh God, I always get these. Okay, all right, fire truck. What color are those red fire trucks? Oh God, I can picture them now, all red and everything.
That's right, Peter. They are red.
Think my math adds up there.
The fire truck can consume 8 times its body weight. The ambulances will have to wait their turn.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I hope you guys had a great one. I hope you enjoyed it with your loved ones. I hope that you guys shared a lot of food and stories and love and joy and football. And hopefully not too much fighting. That'd be nice. But I am here to provide you with entertainment and go over the top 3 storylines from the NFL. Thursday, Thanksgiving, action, turduckins, turdurkins.
Here it is, Tom Brady. It's your first official turducken. What do you think?
I love it.
All kinds of action.
By the way, that's amazing.
Amazing.
Giant step towards Shador. Very clever. They are the New York Giants. So Shador Sanders, very clearly top of the class among quarterbacks. You can make an argument for a couple guys being the number 1 overall pick, but I think most Giants fans want Shador. Seems like a Shador Sanders, prime time, New York, Big Apple, Lady Liberty, all that. You know what I mean? Kind of seems like a fit. So they end up losing the game in a game that pretty much everybody was thankful was pretty shitty because it allowed everybody to just kind of chill out and relax for that second half. Everybody ate for the first game. We enjoyed a really good game where the Lions, played the Bears. Everybody was real excited about that game. You got, some competitive football going on there. And the Giants and the Cowboys come on. Everyone's like, it's time to take a nap.
What's very interesting is you are where you are now for one reason and one reason only. You are a loser.
Okay, it's time for a nap. But it ended up being a pretty good football game. Although, you had Cooper Rush versus Drew Lock. So it wasn't exactly, star-studded from the quarterback position. Takeaways from that game are other than the fact that Dexter Lawrence and Malik Neighbors are entirely too good of football players to be on that dang team, along with maybe like Brian Burns and 1 or 2 others. But the rest of that team is not very good at football. And the Cowboys end up getting the win, which, maybe from the fans' perspective is kind of going the other way because both these teams ain't going nowhere. Congratulations, Giants. You are now officially the worst team in the NFL standings-wise. To back up that proof, take a look at that. 2-10. Chef's kiss, New York Giants. Beautiful. 2-10 for the New York Giants. 7 losses in a row.
Why are you in such a bad mood?
What do you care?
So they say Mike over there in Dallas is 11 from heaven. Well, it looks like the Giants got 7 from heaven. Or hell.
It's all right. It's all right. I feel that way too. It's all right. We feel that way together, okay? Let it out. Let it out.
You know what I mean? But it's 7 losses in a row. That's a lot of losses. It's not good. 0-6 at home for the Giants. Ooh wee. Ooh.
No, that's horror awful. That's horrible and awful mixed together. Horror awful.
Ass. So yeah, Shedeur Sanders, you have never been more wanted than by the people of New York. And maybe some parts of New Jersey, I would assume. So there you go. That is my number 3 storyline. Moving on. The number 2 storyline is the Packers weapons show out, man. I mean, going into this game, everybody knows that the Packers got, they got some boys on defense now. And everybody knows that they can pound the rock with Josh Jacobs now. All these weapons that these Packers have been investing in these past few drafts, it's starting to pay off. Like these guys that before when we were looking at them when Aaron Rodgers had him at the end of his career, or when Jordan Love was first starting with these guys, a lot of them we looked at as like, oh, they're not, they're not guys. Like they got to go get a guy. It's like now at this point, you look at all these weapons, you're like, oh, all these dudes are probably going to get paid. You know what I mean? Like by somebody. Like these guys can go. So they have a bunch of dudes, and it's not just Josh Jacobs. Jordan Love has a litany of weapons, and it starts with that guy right there. That guy right there that you're looking at on the screen is a fucking playmaker.
Fake to Jacobs. Love. Touchdown Reed. Jaden Reed connects and leaps. Fake to Jacobs. It's Reed. First down. Reed. Touchdown for the second time on this Thanksgiving night.
To kind of bank on that point for some of Jordan Love's weapons here, you can take a look. 21 for 27, 274 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 picks. So he had himself a great game. And then look at all of his weapons going off. You got Tucker Kraft getting him some catches, Josh Jacobs, you got Christian Watson, you got, Dontavian Wicks, you got Jaden Reed. I mean, all these dudes, are really good football players. And a lot of them, you ask my opinion on a guy like Tucker Kraft, that dude has an argument for one of the top 3-4 tight ends in the NFL. Josh Jacobs, you can say the same thing about him. And then you add in like somebody like Jaden Reed, maybe he's not a top 2-3 receiver in the NFL, but he's certainly starting on every single team in the NFL. There isn't a team in the NFL that wouldn't be heavily utilizing this guy in their offense because he's that special with the ball in his hands. And in today's NFL, with spreading things out and getting your guys in space, guys like that are super dangerous. And you saw that around the goal line today. They can get it to him on end arounds. I mean, all kinds of things. So Packers got weapons. They got weapons everywhere. They are dangerous. They are starting to kind of make that ascension. So that is a big storyline for me coming out of the game, is just on a national stage, seeing these guys play. I was like, wow, they got some guys, man. They can really go get it for this dude Jordan Love. So that is my number 2 storyline.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
Jerry.
So what could the number 1 storyline be? I mean, we talked about those 2 other games, so it's clearly got to be something to do with that game that happened between the Bears and the Lions. But what is the storyline coming out of that game? Well, it should be fairly obvious to anybody who knows anything about football. The number 1 storyline is the tale of 2 coaches going in different directions. I mean, you talk about the top of the totem pole when it comes to NFL head coaches right now. People unanimously, I don't care who it is going to put this dude Dan Campbell in their top 5 head coaches right now in the NFL. just because he doesn't have to out-scheme you. He's not trying to outsmart you. That's not what Dan Campbell is. Dan Campbell hired guys to out-scheme you. Dan Campbell hires guys to outsmart you. He has guys to do that. What Dan Campbell does is provide a mentality of pure grit.
And the most important thing is to find a way to win the game. And if you're not built the way we are, you don't win that game.
And determination and love. And he does it with love. All his players know that he's done it. He was in those locker rooms and he loves those guys and he will do anything for those guys. So he can get the most out of them.
Like Panay said earlier, man, people want to find out what Detroit about. Let them come in here and find the fuck out. Yes, sir. Y'all go have a good time with y'all family, man. Happy Thanksgiving. Lions on 3. 1, 2, 3.
And then juxtapose that with Matt Eberflus. I mean, if you're the Bears, you're thinking like, if you're a Bears fan or you're a Bears player or anybody, you're over here looking at this dude, Dan Campbell, and you're like, fuck, man. I mean, look at Kevin O'Connell. Look over there. Okay, how about Matt LaFleur? Those are the head coaches in your division. Dan Campbell, Kevin O'Connell, and Matt LaFleur. And you're fucking stuck with Eberflus? Yeah. Okay, yeah, we can play this charade out like he's going to remain the coach of this team. He's not. He is a fucking stopgap at this point.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
And so I want you guys to look at this because this is a quote from after the game. And this to me reminds me of when I believe Josh McDaniels was the coach of the Raiders and he had Janikowski go out there and kick a 72-yard field goal that was never, ever, ever, ever going to go in. And it was like at the end of the half, and it was almost like a fuck you to Al Davis at the time. That's what I took it as, is like he was basically telling Al Davis, fuck you, and, you know, fuck everything. It was pretty much one of those. That's what it felt like. And that had this feeling when I read this quote. So either, I'm going to tell you this, either this is a complete fuck you to all the Bears fans and all of the Bears ownership, or it is a complete lack of understanding of football. And either way, you gotta go. You know what I mean? From this quote alone, like the game itself, the way it ended, that was enough to say you're fucking done. But this quote after the game, you're fucking gone before you have pumpkin pie. Okay? That's how I feel if I'm the owner of the Bears. Eberflus is fucking gone before he has pumpkin pie for this fucking shit. Quote, after the game, Matt Eberflus on having the game end by time expiring, not using a timeout before the eventual final play. Quote, I think we handled it the right way. It didn't work out the way we wanted to. End quote.
No one touched him. And down goes Williams. Zadarius Smith.
Well, this is supposed to be a quarterback draw. They have a light box.
Clock is running with 15 seconds, and it's 3rd and 26. They have one timeout left.
This is like the light box. You could have gotten numbers, but just didn't.
You better hurry.
Oh, no.
Oh, this is disaster in the making here. You're going to have to do something when it comes down to this play. Incomplete, and the game is over. Completely botched at the end by the Bears.
I can't believe they didn't take a timeout. You just assumed they would have taken.
They're looking around like, what just happened?
They had a timeout left.
The clock.
Are you fucking serious? Are you just completely inept on how football works? Do you have no idea how clock management works? The ending of that game was some of the worst clock management I've ever seen, and I'm a fucking Chargers fan. All right? I don't know what it is about these NFL coaches at the highest level. Maybe they're so in depth on the game plans and the scheming and everything that's going on that clock management and like game management just takes a back burner to a lot of these guys. I don't fucking know. But shit like that is unacceptable. Even if that play is successful and you hit the catch, he's getting tackled immediately and you're not getting into the end zone. Okay, if you complete it short, you're getting tackled and it's going to be game over. There was no ending of that was going to be beneficial for the Bears. So you can sit here and you can blame Caleb Williams because he should have known better as the quarterback. And guess what? He should have. But here's the thing about Caleb. He's a fucking rookie, and he's also the franchise quarterback. You can go, buddy, and you're supposed to look out for your franchise rookie quarterback in those situations when he's so busy focused on the game that's happening around him and trying to get his guys on board. Offense has been struggling all day, and they are finally moving the fucking ball in the second half. And he's got all this stuff going on. Should he have known to call the timeout there or hurry it up? Yes, of course. But Eberflus is on the fucking sideline not dealing with any of that on offense, and he sees what's happening. How the fuck do you not take a timeout? It's just absolutely beyond me. And if I'm a Bears fan, the way that some of these fucking games have ended this year, it is beyond absurd. It is beyond absurd. It is finding ways to lose in the face of wins. And it is a lack of attention to detail. And you can't have it. And if things run top down, which they do, how are you ever going to win a Super Bowl with that guy as your head coach? How? He's going to outcoach Kevin O'Connell. He's going to out-motivate Dan Campbell. He's going to out-strategize Matt LaFleur. Like, what are we talking about here? You know what I mean? Like, you got to go, buddy. And guess what, Bears? You've invested money into Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, high draft capital into Caleb Williams, Rome Odunze. You've spent money on and trade assets on Sweat. You have one of the best corners in the league in Johnson. That is so awful. Like, I feel sick to my stomach having watched that game. So, I feel sick to my stomach if I'm a Bears fan with the way that some of these games have ended. I mean, the only silver lining for the Bears is you're like, at least you know Caleb's not a bust. Like, it's not him. You know what I mean? Fuck, man. Yeah, that's atrocious.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
I also just wanted to take a quick second and say I love you guys very much, and I appreciate everybody in my life who I know and knows me. I'm sure that some of you watching, that would be you. But I am thankful for everybody in my life. I'm thankful for the life that I live. It's a beautiful life. I'm thankful for the ups and the downs. I'm thankful for great people.
A few moments later.
I'm thankful for sports. I'm thankful for the love of sports. I'm thankful for the community of people out there that love sports. I love you guys. If you love sports, I love sports. I love you. All right? And even if you don't love sports, I love you too. You know what I mean? And that's how I feel. But shout out to my mama. Shout out to my daddy. Rest in peace. I love you, Pops. Shout out to my family, my friends. I love you guys so much. Happy Thanksgiving. That is all for this episode of JP26 Thanksgiving episode. And guess what? There was never notes on here the whole time. It just says Happy Thanksgiving. You guys believe that? Come on. I don't read notes. I can barely read. I'm going to make it today.
Welcome to the JP26 Thanksgiving episode. To the 6 storylines we go, except it's only 3 this time, because it's the JP26 Thanksgiving episode. Dumbass!
Hello, happy Thanksgiving. Welcome to another episode of JP26. I'm very happy. Blah, 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 blah.